Hello everyone, hi Kipsters. I hope you're all doing well and staying very safe at home with your families. I have a question for you. Do plants actually need the sunlight to grow? This is a question that came to mind when I was outside this weekend just going on with my day, and I looked up and I noticed that the sun was shining, the air is blowing, and I started thinking, I know that as humans we need water, we need food, and we need to make sure we have the right amount of sleep so that we can grow properly. But then I started thinking, plants, I know that they need water as well. They need water to grow, but do they actually need the sunlight? So I want you to think about that. And for me, what I did was I wanted to test this out. So I did a little experiment. I decided to plant some tomato seeds. And what I did in this experiment was I planted some tomato seeds. I put one by the window so that I can get a lot of sun. And then I put the other one in a dark place in a box in my closet. And it did not get any sunlight. And I am so excited to show you and to share with you what I've learned and how the plants grew. So I'm super excited. In this video, we're gonna talk about how plants grow, what they need to grow. And also, we're gonna talk about the different kind of seeds you can use to plant if you wanna plant your own tomato seeds or any other seed that you can find. So we're going to talk about that, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm super excited, so let's get started. So remember, our main thinking job today is to think about whether plant needs sunlight to grow or not. So let's get started. So let's start off by talking about the life cycle of plants. The first thing that you need to know is plants are living things. And just like humans, we start off as babies and then we grow up to become adults. So do plants. Plants also go through the same process. They start off as seed and then they grow up to become like mature plants or adult plants. So let's look at the picture. The first thing I want to talk about is you see the seed all the way at the top. So plants usually starts off as seed. And then when you plant them and then it has the right amount of soil, it grows up and it sprouts up. Or another word for sprouting is germination. That just means that the seed has grown up, it has sprouted up. And then when it sprouts up and you can see the seed, you can see the plant. Now it has become like a plant. Now it's no more seed. Once you can see it, it's called seedling, which just means that it's like the first sign of life from the seed, and then it appears out of the soil. So it becomes seedling, and then it grows like flowers, and then some of the seed will spread, and we're going to talk about how seeds spread. And then the process begins again. So seeds have something called an embryo. And an embryo is part of a seed that contains the earliest form of a plant, like the roots, the stem, and the leaves. So remember that seeds contain the embryos of plants with necessary food and an outer coating for protection for the seeds. Now let's talk about the stem and the root of plants. So the root of plant is the part that's usually hidden underground, and also the root has a lot of different purposes. They hold the plant in the ground and keep it upright, and also they take water and food from the soil to help the plant grow. And then if you look at it, the stem of the plant is the trunk of the plant. All right, so now let's talk about how seeds spread. So one of the ways that seeds spread is through the wind. The other way is animals. So seeds spread by sometimes the wind blowing the seed away, from plants, it blows it and then it falls on the ground and then, it begins to grow. And the other way is also animals eating the either fruit or vegetables or anything from the plant, and then they poop it out. I wish I could I saw like squirrels at the park, but I didn't find any squirrels. And as you can see, this is like another form of like a seed falling to the ground from a plant. One of the trees, it fell to the ground, and sometimes it germinates and then it grows, and the whole cycle starts again. So remember that seeds can spread or disperse in a lot of different ways. Some of it, like we talked about, is through the wind. And also, if you can see, like that plant has some flowers on it, and those flowers, some of them has falling to the ground. The seeds of those flowers sometimes will germinate and it'll become like a plant, like a tree. So there's a lot of different ways that seeds, they spread and they grow. Sometimes, many of the time, it's like animals carrying the seeds of like the fruit that they've eaten, or the flowers that they've eaten, and then pooping it somewhere, and or dropping it when they're carrying, just dropping it, and then that grows and it becomes a big plant, and the cycle starts over and over again. So yeah, like you can see in the picture, you can see the video, you can see some flowers on the ground, and sometimes people step on it, some seeds on the ground. Sometimes animals will take it, the wind will blow it. And so now that we've learned all about the plant cycle and how seed spreads, I want to talk to you about what I found when I planted a couple of tomato seeds, and I put one by the window where it got a lot of sunlight, and then I put the other one in the closet where it did not get any sunlight at all. So today is day 14 of me planting tomato seeds, and both seeds have sprouted. As you can see, plant A and then plant B. So plant A was the plant by the window, and plant B was the one that I put in the closet, and it did not get any sunlight. So just take a look at the big difference between the two plant. I'm going to explain why that is in a minute. But just observe, make some observation of what you've noticed about the difference between how plant A looks and how plant B looks. Like, just write some things down that you've noticed. So let's take a look at plant A. Plant A was, when I planted the seed, it was placed by the window. I made sure it got a lot of sunlight and air, because plants need air to grow, and then also water. I made sure to water plant A and also plant B every day. So let's take a look at the days. For when I planted it day 1, nothing happened because I just planted it. So, and then day 6 for plant A, nothing happened. You can't really see that the plant is like germinate. You can't see that it's seedling, which means that it appears above the soil. Nothing is happening in that sense. But keep in mind that just because we can't see the plant sprouting yet, that doesn't mean that it's not germinating underneath the soil. So just know that when you plant any of the fruit that you find or vegetables at home, you have to have a lot of patience. For plant A, it started sprouting on day 9. That was when I noticed the leaves started coming out, and then you could see the stem and some leaves on the plant. And now let's talk about plant B. So for plant B, when I planted it the same day, I put it in a box. If you can see, day 1, I put it in a box, and it had no sunlight, but I made sure to water it every day. And also it had, it got a lot of air, because air can go through the box. The way I watered it was I made sure that the room was dark, and then I would water it so that it doesn't get any light at all. So let's take a look at the days. For day 1, nothing happened because we were planting it. We just planted the seed. For day 6, actually, for plant B, day 6, it started sprouting, and I could see the seedling. You could, if you look at it, you can see that I can see the plant above the soil. And then day 9, it was also sprouting. So plant B, the plant that did not get sunlight, actually sprouted faster than plant A, which got a lot of sunlight. So now I want you to think about it for a second. Why did the plant that didn't get any sunlight sprouted faster than the one that got sunlight? And also Does that mean plants don't need sunlight to grow? I don't know. Think about it. And yeah, let's find out. So let's talk about plant B. Plant B had a longer stem. It does not look green, just like plant A. And it just doesn't look that healthy. This is because when I planted the seed and it didn't get any sunlight, the seed was looking for the light as it was growing. So the seed thinks that it's really deep in the ground. So it grew really fast above the soil so that it can reach the sunlight. Because if the seed doesn't get sunlight, it's going to die. And it's not going to germinate properly. The second that the seed hits sunlight, it's going to start making something called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll makes plants green. So when the plant gets sunlight, it will start to turn green and it will start making leaves, and then it will just look healthy. So remember that plants need air. They take in air and use it to make food along with sunlight and water and the nutrients from their soil. So plants use something in the air, something special in the air called carbon dioxide, and they put out something special in the air called oxygen, which humans need to breathe. So let's talk about plant A. If you can see, plant A has green leaves. The stem didn't grow very long. It looks really healthy. This is because plant A got the sunlight that it needed to produce the chlorophyll, which makes the leaf green, and it looks healthy. Plant A didn't grow very long stem because it wasn't searching for the sunlight. It already had the sunlight, so it didn't really have to, the seed didn't have to think that it was going to die without the sunlight. So it got what it needed to grow and be a healthy plant. So to answer our question, yes, plants definitely need sunlight to grow, and they need it to be able to to make some chlorophyll and to be a healthy plant. So they need sunlight, they need water, they need air, and they need the nutrients from the soil to be able to grow and become a healthy plant. So I just wanted to put the two plants side by side again so you can see the difference between them. And also so after the day 14, I decided to put the second plant, the plant B, by the window side because I wanted to see what would happen if it gets the sunlight, because I don't want it to completely die. So this is day 15. This is the next day. I put it by the window. So I put plant A and plant B by the window. And as you can see, both of them are getting sunlight this time. And if you can notice, plant B is it's producing leaves, and the leaves look green, as you can see. And it's looking healthy, starting to look healthy because of the sunlight. And now it's producing chlorophyll, which is making the leaves green. And eventually it's going to go back to becoming a healthy plant, just like plant A, and it's not going to die. Let's talk about what plants needs to grow. So plants, they need sunlight, they need air, they need water, and they need nutrients and a space to grow. So remember that, if you're going to try this at home, you want to get some soil, and then you want to make sure that you water your plant. It needs water, and then make sure it gets a lot of sunlight and a space for it to grow, and a lot of patience. Remember that it's not, when you plant the seed, it's not going to grow right away. So you need a lot of patience. So I had a lot of fun planting some tomato seeds, and I just want to show you some fruits and vegetables that have seeds that you can try to plant at home if you want. So this is like tomatoes, and you can see the seeds inside. And also I found some green beans, and as you can see, it has some seed inside. You can use that to plant it. And then strawberry. The seeds of strawberries are really interesting because it's like outside of it. And then some bell peppers. As you can see, it has some seeds, and the seeds are inside. If you cut it open, the seeds are inside of the bell peppers. So you can try to plant some bell peppers as well. Have fun with this, look for some tomatoes, cut it open. It has some seeds, strawberries, green beans. These are some of the things that I have in my refrigerator, but you might have a lot of different things. So feel free to go and look in your refrigerator and have fun, plant some things and see and have a lot of patience and see what happens. And let me know if it grows. Send me pictures, and I really want to know if you try it and if you plant some of these fruits and vegetables. Let me know what you find. So today we talked about the life cycle of plants, how plants, it's important to know that they always start off as seeds and then they grow to become big plants. So the seeds germinate or they sprout when they are in the right environment. Like they get the soil they need, and then they get the water and the nutrients from the soil, and then they use air, and then they get sunlight as well. They can grow and become adult plants and become healthy plants. And also we talked about how roots are very important for plants' survival because they absorb water and nutrients from the soil, and they help the plants to be able to be like strong and also grow. And then the stem of the plant is like the trunk of the plant. And it's important to know that if plants don't get sunlight, they're not going to be able to grow properly, and they will eventually die. I hope that you enjoyed the video and you learned a lot about the importance of sunlight for plants and how sunlight helps plant to grow. And also that we also learned that, plant needs water, it needs air, and they need sunlight and nutrients from the soil to grow. These are all very important, and it helps a lot of the plants to grow and to germinate properly. And I hope you learned a lot. I know I learned a lot and I enjoyed this video. So thank you so much for watching this video and for learning all about plants and seeds and the importance of sunlight with me. I hope you have a great day. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the day, and see you later. Bye-bye.